Soraya Bastian here, and you are watching Beyond Breath TV, the place to be to overcome your husband's infidelity and create a beautiful marriage. My goal for this episode is to help you understand that it isn't beneficial or helping anybody, including yourself, to set boundaries for your husband after his infidelity that you cannot control and that you cannot keep. It's not fair that he chose to step out on your marriage vows. With one stupid decision on his part, everything you had hoped for vanished. Trust and safety has been disintegrated into thin air, and without those two things, there is no relationship. Life, as you know it, is over. You don't try to think about the information you have been given or have found out. It is now a permanent companion of every single moment. Sadly, you will be told by people who love you and experts in this field that you need to create and keep boundaries for your husband to comply with and consequences to follow up with if he doesn't. And your desire for safety drives you to give the responsibility of your safety to your spouse who has just ripped your heart out. By setting boundaries like this, he needs to give you all of his passwords. He's not allowed to take his phone into the bathroom. He has to participate in active recovery forever. He needs to be transparent in his locations, and he needs to stop all contact with the affair partner immediately. But think of it. If you have all of your husband's passwords and are looking to find trust by being a social media, text, email detective, you are going to waste your life away trying to find evidence that he is lying. And not to be harsh, but those things can be easily deleted. If you set a boundary that says he can't take his phone in the bathroom, then you are leaving your ability to regain trust and repair your marriage up to every time he has to go pee. And even though you can see exactly where he is on the tracking app, you still wonder who he is in the car with. The problem is, whatever it is you see or don't see, you don't trust it, and safety remains nowhere to be found. If you find something, there is a brief moment of validation. Ha! You think, I knew there was something more. And if you don't find anything, your automatic response says, he's just getting really good at hiding things. But now what? Even with this information, you are at a standstill. This information goes into the bag of ammunition you're gathering of all the reasons you should stay or leave. But you still find yourself paralyzed, unable to make a decision. And what's worse, you can't help but dig for more. There's this weird feeling of powerlessness when we are trying to save our marriage after infidelity. It's like we feel like we can somehow control our husbands enough to ensure they will never hurt us again. In all actuality, what this does is leave you even more powerless. Powerless as for hours you pour through email after email and text after text, hating every second of it and not knowing how to stop. Powerless as you lay on the bathroom floor in the puddle of your own tears, ruminating and rehashing story and conversation. Powerless as you spill your emotional vomit onto friends and family, leaving you in a position where you try to protect him while also throwing him under the bus. Powerless as you spend hours in therapy, group therapy, reading books, and poring over how, what, and why this all happened. And powerless in your weekly massage, facials, shopping trips, and growing debt, all for a moment of happiness or peace. And powerless as your children speak to you and you want so badly to be able to be there and listen to them, but your mind and thoughts are elsewhere. Powerless in that you have lost the very being of who you were and are now a shell of the person that you used to be. The truth is, setting up boundaries that keep you checking and monitoring your husband's phone is in no way keeping him sober and is in no way making it so that he's not lying to you. The problem remains that everything feels dangerous, and so whether or not he is being truthful to you, You can't tell because for all you know and all your body is continually telling you to do is run. I have seen so many times on community forums women share their victory of how great she and her husband are doing in their recovery. He has complied to everything she has asked him to do and is following her boundaries diligently. He has given her all of his passwords. He texts her at a certain time of the day. He checks in with her every night. He is attending his recovery meetings and is never late coming home from work. And she's happy. They are great as long as he does what he's supposed to do. But the second he steps back into human mode and somehow doesn't do one thing perfectly, they're back to square one. Trust and safety are not going to be rebuilt in your marriage by waiting for your husband to comply with the boundaries that you've set. And in fact, setting them in this way will only increase the feelings of powerlessness inside. Regardless of his desire to heal and reconcile your marriage, you will not be able to fully embrace your life with or without him while your body is in the state of trauma it is now living. Let me explain. After you experience the disheartening truth of your husband's infidelity, your body goes haywire. You have been severely injured and your brain and your body are now on a mission to ensure your safety. This looks like recurring thoughts in your mind that you have no choice but to watch over and over. This looks like panic every time his phone pings because it must be her on the other end. This looks like your heart rate rising anytime he tells you he's going to be late from work. And this looks like you blowing up and raging at your children because you can't stand the feeling inside of you anymore. Your body, in its attempt to guarantee safety in your future, continues to send you signals reminding you of the harm you've been placed in the past. But instead, because of these signals in your body, you will remain cautious, tepid, unsure, and unsettled. Because of these signals, you will go to therapy and read the books. You will look for warning signs and question everything from him for the rest of your life. Because of these signals, you will suffer for years, never feeling safe. My client Joyce came to me after working with her husband since 1998 to reconcile her marriage. She and her husband traveled the United States visiting specialists, participating in week-long retreats, and attending weekend workshops. However, after 24 years and tens of thousands of dollars spent, she still didn't trust her husband. She still never fully invested herself into her marriage. The only thing missing, and the major thing that was missing, was healing her emotional trauma. Let's be real for a second. If you don't heal the emotional trauma you've experienced now, you are going to continue to suffer for years and years and miss out on the love and life that is here and available for you, regardless of any boundary that you set or whether or not he is complying. Clearing your emotional trauma allows you to stop running on the hamster wheel, wasting your life away trying to control and police him, because we all know that's not working, and it's only increasing the level of anxiety and fear that is already rampant in your body. Once you've cleared your emotional trauma, you'll never set another external boundary that requires you to give your power to anybody else. You will have the trust and power within yourself to hold yourself safe because you will no longer be functioning from a place of fear. All of the power is yours to hold. What if I could show you how to do this? What if I could show you how to get your life back? What if I could show you how to experience the peace you desire? It's so simple and yet so hard. Setting up a list of boundaries in hopes to find safety that only leaves you looking at your husband's phone or being his social media detective leaves you powerless, out of control, and it just doesn't work. Pema Chodron says, the most fundamental aggression to ourselves, the most fundamental harm we can do to ourselves is to remain ignorant by not having the courage and the respect to look at ourselves honestly and gently. This is possible for you. This is what has been the missing piece for thousands of women. I hope that just by hearing this, you experience a sense of peace. What healing from this trauma looks like is learning how to live again, to not be triggered by a song or a word or a look, to not be wound so tightly in an attempt to keep it all together that you end up exploding shrapnel into everyone and everything. Healing from this trauma looks like seeing the blue sky and feeling the sun on your face. It looks like hearing your child's laughter and enjoying the touch of your husband's hand in yours. Now, I would love to hear from you. In the comments section below, please tell me what boundaries you have tried to set with your husband in an attempt to find trust and safety, and then tell me if it worked. After you comment, be sure to head over to sorayabastian.com and subscribe to become a Beyond Breath Insider. You'll gain instant access to an awesome training where I share the secrets to creating a marriage full of passion, intimacy, and excitement after your husband's infidelity, as well as some exclusive content, some special giveaways, and personal updates from me that I don't share anywhere else. Thank you for joining me today. I love you. Bye-bye.